Hi there, Andre here from Peak Motorcycles. I'm here at EICMA 2023 and I'm here at the Husqvarna stand. So as you probably know, they're owned by Pira Mobility, who also own KTM and GasGas. So if you're wanting a bike that's a bit like that but in white, this is the place to come. Now they do have a few variants that differentiate them a little bit, and I know a few people that have bought Husqvarnas over either of the other brands under the same banner, and they had their own reasons, and yeah, doing very well with it. So I'll show you the bikes they have here on the stand and see what you think. So first up, I'll show you the SM701. So this is their version of the 690 or the 700 Supermoto. Now I think that actually looks pretty cool in the black and yellow. In fact, it's probably my favourite of the three variants of the bike. Yeah, they do what they do. They probably make more sense than a sports bike does for UK roads. Very much no frills. Very, very simple dash up there. Rear fuel tank, the fuel carried very low down in those side panels. The next bike I want to show you is this 701 Enduro. So this one has been produced out with luggage and a Remus exhaust. Again, it has the fuel carried low down at the back with the fuel filler there at the rear. So that lovely blue frame down there. Very simple dash, you don't really need very much. This one does have a windscreen at least, and you can see that adjustable WP suspension in there. So yeah, really tidy. I know a lot of people are using these for travel. It's like an Enduro but with a bit more long distance manners for high speed riding and slightly easier service intervals. Next bike I want to show you is this. This is one I've actually really been looking forward to, which is the Norden 901 Expedition. They've taken a standard Norden, which I think is like an 890, and they've just made everything bigger and better on it. So this has a lot of extras like this really quite substantial alloy bash guard down there. I just think they look brilliant. I think it's got slightly more ground clearance than the standard one, and I'm sure there'll be someone will correct me if that is not right. But yeah, really, really tidy. I think if you're after a middleweight adventure bike, the Norden 901 should definitely be on the list. Speaking of which, and even though it's behind a glass case, this is the standard 901. If you've never seen one up close, yeah, they've refined it a little bit. Again, in this sort of grey and yellow, I think is a new colour for this year. It's got that lovely TFT dash in there, and you can actually get another GPS mount that goes above it. So yeah, really, really tidy bikes. I think they look a little bit classier than the KTM one. I know that round headlamp and no beak isn't exactly to everyone's taste, but I quite like it, and particularly how those spotlights just integrate into the sides. I'm sure it gives you a lot more protection as well while you're riding. Now we have a few of the smaller capacity bikes here. We have the Vitpilens 401. There is a black one up here, which is behind a case. Maybe that'll be easier to show you. That's been accessorised up with those bar end mirrors that are low down, the Akrapovic exhaust. Same platform as the KTM 390. But again, I think they just look really good in black, and I think Husqvarna have done a great job of taking that and just doing something a little bit different, especially with the styling. So have a quick look at the Svartpilen, which is the 125 version of it. And then over here we have the Husqvarna Enduro bikes. We have the TE250, the FE, the 4-stroke 350 over there. And here we have the FC450, the 4-stroke. And then here we have a TE300 Pro. I mean, that just does look really tidy. Again, it's new colours, or at least I haven't seen them before, with the sort of grey with the contour lines. Yeah, I just think that looks really cool. Nice to see something a little bit different. I suppose they have to differentiate it from one year to another. I mean, one thing with the ergonomics on these Enduro bikes is to see just how high those bars are relative to the seat. And actually on this, you can see just how, how the fuel is actually carried. You do have the fuel filler at the top, but to see just how low down that fuel tank comes. I mean, it's literally just above the exhaust, which just all helps to keep that centre of gravity really low. And last but by no means least, I did see this in the press release. This is called a Husqvarna Skuttr, S-K-U-T-T-A. I mean, I think it looks, well, it's just another electric scooter, but it does look quite cool, and it does take Husqvarna batteries. So I think these are the same ones that go in their lawnmowers, and that just plugs into the front there. I don't know whether it's something that's just been done as a bit of a design experiment, or if this is even something you can buy. But I can see it's got a handle on it, so I'm sure that when that handlebar goes down, the rear wheel would just go through that hole, and then there's almost like a suitcase handle for carrying it about. So, sometimes that's the problem with these things, is they're great when you're on them, but then you get somewhere and you either can't lock them up, you can't leave them, and you have to take it with you. So yeah, nice to see them coming up with something a little bit different. It isn't just a reworking, albeit done well, of something that's KTM. So there you go, that is a very quick look at the Husqvarna stand here at EICMA 2023. I hope that's been interesting and useful. If it has, please check out my other content from the show. Maybe you'll find something even more interesting. Thanks a lot for watching.